You know that feeling, right? A nagging backache, a sore joint, maybe a muscle strain you just can't shake. We've all been there. Musculoskeletal pain is honestly no joke. It's one of the biggest reasons we end up going to the doctor. But here's the thought. What if the way we've been treating it could be, well, smarter, safer, and way more effective? Okay, let's get into the science of a much better way to handle pain.
So to really get a handle on this, let's just start with one number, 47%. Just let that sink in. That's the percentage of the general population dealing with musculoskeletal pain. We're talking nearly 1 out of every 2 people you meet. So yeah, this is not some small niche issue. It's a massive public health problem that touches millions and millions of our lives.
All right, so if we're going to talk about a better solution, we've got to first be crystal clear on the problem itself. What are we really talking about when we say musculoskeletal pain?
Okay, in simple terms, it's pain that hits your bones, muscles, ligaments, tendons, nerves. You know, all the stuff that helps you move. And it can come in 2 flavors. You've got acute pain, that's the sharp, ouch, I just did something kind of pain from an injury. And then there's chronic pain, which is that nagging, persistent ache that just hangs around long after you think it should be gone. And that can really, really impact your quality of life.
And this isn't just something we deal with at home. Oh no. A big study in Italy actually looked at this inside hospitals. And guess what? Pain is a huge deal there too. It's pretty common across the board, but check this out. Orthopedic departments, for bone and joint issues, they have the highest rates. A whopping 47% of patients there are in pain. It's a constant battle for doctors and nurses.
So that leads us to the big question, right? If pain is this common, how are we supposed to manage it? It's kind of like a puzzle, and for a long, long time, we've basically been trying to solve it with just one single piece.
So that one piece? Usually it's a single type of drug. The classic go-to is something like an NSAID, like ibuprofen. And look, they can work, for sure, but they also come with some pretty serious risks, especially if you use them for a long time. We're talking potential stomach problems, even heart issues. What we really need is something that gives us more effective pain relief, is easier for our bodies to handle, and this is the big one, has fewer side effects.
And this is where things get really interesting. This is where the whole strategy shifts. Instead of just grabbing that one tool, modern pain management takes a much more intelligent, layered approach. It's a smarter strategy.
The official name for it is multimodal analgesia. Now, the idea itself is actually pretty simple, but it is so powerful. Basically, you use different kinds of pain relievers at the same time. And here's the secret sauce. Each drug works in a totally different way, so you're attacking that pain signal from all these different angles at once.
So how does this actually play out? Well, you can think of it in 4 steps. Step 1, you use different drugs together. Step 2, each of those drugs goes after a different pain pathway in your body. It's like having a multi-layered security system, If a pain signal gets past one guard, there's another one waiting to stop it. This leads to step 3, which is awesome. You get synergistic relief. That's a fancy way of saying the combined effect is way bigger than what each drug could do on its own. And that brings us to the final, brilliant benefit in step 4. You can use lower, and because they're lower, safer doses of each medicine.
And the benefits here are just huge. There's this drug-sparing effect, which means you get the pain relief you need without having to flood your system with a high dose of just one thing. That, in turn, lowers the risk of side effects and weird drug interactions. It gives doctors way more control, especially with complicated pain. And at the end of the day, it's just a safer treatment that people are actually more likely to follow through with.
Okay, so all this theory is great, right? But let's see how it works in the real world. We're going to look at a classic and really powerful pain-fighting duo, paracetamol and codeine. Now, these two are the perfect example of this whole multimodal idea because they do completely different jobs. You've got paracetamol, which works mostly in your central nervous system, think brain and spinal cord. Then you have codeine. It's a mild opioid that your body actually converts into morphine, and that helps boost your body's own natural pain-blocking systems. So see, 2 totally different playbooks, but they're both aiming for the same goal.
And here's the really cool part, what makes them such a dream team. Even though their jobs are different, their timing is almost perfectly in sync. They start working at about the same time, they provide relief for about the same amount of time, and your body processes them in a similar speed. It's like they're perfectly choreographed to work together.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. The effect isn't just additive. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's synergistic.
The pain relief you get from putting them together is way, way better than what you'd get from just paracetamol or just codeine by itself, even if you took a higher dose. The whole is seriously greater than the sum of its parts here.
All right, so what's the bottom line here? What does all of this mean for how we actually treat pain? And why does this smarter, synergistic approach really matter for us, the patients?
Well, the evidence really speaks for itself. This combination is flat out more effective than either drug on its own. It's proven its worth in all kinds of situations, from post-op recovery to the chronic pain of osteoarthritis. But maybe the biggest win is that it doesn't come with those serious stomach and heart risks that you can get from long-term NSAID use. That makes it a much safer, well-tolerated alternative and often the first choice for mild to moderate pain.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't some fringe idea. It's baked right into clinical practice. This quote right here is from a major group of Italian medical societies, and they straight up recommend this combination for moderate pain, even in a high-stakes place like the emergency room. It's a trusted, proven strategy.
So, this all leaves us with a pretty interesting question to think about. When we look at the future of pain relief, is the answer really about finding one single stronger drug, or is it maybe about something else? As this whole multimodal approach shows us, maybe it's about making the medicines we already have work smarter by working together as a team.